Hello, everyone. I wasn't sure if we're going to have a live stream today because YouTube was down, but now it just came right back up right before our stream. Aren't we lucky? Are we not lucky? Well, we don't believe in luck here on this channel. Guys, do you have my audio? Is everything working, or is YouTube acting funny? Are you guys seeing me? Do you guys have my audio? Why is it not working on my phone? If I don't see me on my phone... Oh, yeah, wait. I see me on my phone. That means you guys see me on... Right, cool. How's my audio? All right, let me see who's here. Deborah is saying, yeah, I'm concerned how much YouTube being down affected me. It's... Guys, no, it's not... It really doesn't... Okay, let me actually address this, okay? Because YouTube is just the medium, right? The platform. If you were... It depends on what you're consuming on YouTube. That's what you should be concerned, okay? Because you can learn things through books or through YouTube videos or through podcasts or through audiobooks, okay? Imagine if you said, like, somebody took your books away and you're upset about it and you're, like, really nervous that you don't have your books. Usually society doesn't see that as a bad thing. But if you lose access to YouTube and you're upset about it, society sees that as a bad thing. What if all you watch on YouTube is like educational videos? But no, people just see one of them as below the other one. There's no difference between books and YouTube. Both of them are ways for you to consume content. There are good books, there are bad books, there are good videos, there are bad videos. Is video reaction okay? This is somewhat a reaction to Daniel Hairaju because I have noticed that they're coming after modernity more and more. Okay, and I thought, these people have given up on going after atheism, some of them at least, because they just can't. These are like especially a lot of wokies and Muslims and other people have such an easy attack. Like Christianity was such a lightweight challenge for them. Like it was so pathetically simple to show how Christianity is flawed. So then now they're coming after our values, and they were like, well, it should be easy. This should be easy. And they're looking at the people that are responsible for these ideas, trying to find faults in them. But they have no, you have no power here. They have to understand that this is not going to be as easy. But unfortunately, most people who celebrate Enlightenment values and liberal sciences and modernity, they have taken for granted, and they are not very well trained into defending them. Especially, and some people who do defend them dogmatically. They're just people who love just the words like secularism. Secularism, democracy. Oh, yeah, democracy. Oh, due process. Yes. Like, yeah, they like these things. They just think that's just buzzwords that just celebrate as good things without actually knowing why they're supposed to work. Why they work, why we celebrate them. Okay. Hold on. Soha is saying idea is good. Hossein is saying idea is good. Bishamuf. I have to figure out how to pronounce your name. Deborah is saying true. Of course it's true. I'm saying it. Have I ever told you anything that is not true? I'm kidding. Don't come at me. Deborah is saying thank you for making me feel better. I just podcast and do educational stuff. That's good. And guys, that also another thing that I don't feel guilty about. Sometimes it's fine to have mindless, non-intelligent fun. Okay, don't feel guilty about that as well. Katie saying Google accounts is okay. Yeah, but let's. Yeah, I know. But let's not focus on that much more. Thank you though for Katie for that information. Anyways. I know that, by the way, guys, I know that a lot of you might not like this website, New Discourse by James Lindsay. especially after James Lindsay waited for Trump. That was a disappointment. But still, I finished his book recently, Cynical Theories, and I thought it was pretty fair. It was pretty balanced. It seemed like it wasn't a full on attack. It really took the other side into the consideration, like the woke talk. I felt it was very well written. Okay, even though I also felt like one criticism I had of his James Lindsay book seemed like it was a bit exaggerating the influence of these ideas. I think, well, maybe a little more than a bit, but overall, it was a really good book. I enjoyed it. So you guys are familiar with James Lindsay and the website New Discourse and his book Cynical Theories, right? Some of you are, some of you aren't. DTR is saying, what I find very frustrating is people in Western developed countries take their freedom of expression for granted. As such, yeah, I know. You've been pronouncing it right the first time. I have? Bishamonten. I'm just going to call you Bish. Bish from now on. But guys, this is very long. And when it comes to text, look at this. I'm a slow reader. Okay? That's why I do audiobooks in double speed. So, it keeps going. Hey, okay. I don't know if I could finish that in one stream. I know. Wait, I do know that. I can't. I know I can't. But we have to try. I want us, guys, you know what? I'm doing this video, even though I know it's not going to be as popular with a lot of you guys, right? Because this is like not as juicy as the other stuff we cover. But this is important. I'm telling you guys, this is very important. We need to have the tools and the know-how and to be able to explain to other people why modernity is important, how to defend modernity, why Enlightenment values are important. So I don't even know if this is good, if this is a good manifesto, but I thought I'd give it a try with you guys, okay? Oh, look at this. Ronald saying recent Atheist Republic arts are really comforting during this lockdown. Haven't made it to the streams lately because of them. Okay, cool. Guys, I do want to try to see how much we can go through this really fast, okay? But maybe I'll do multiple streams on this. And I know you guys might think this is important. We need to know these things, okay? I'm going to try different ways of educating myself and you guys about this, and also maybe Enlightenment values and Enlightenment philosophers. And this is not good for our channel, but see, this is me sacrificing my time and the growth of this channel because I think these are important things for us to know, okay? See, don't say oh, Armin only. Okay, DTR, your comments are very long and I need to get started on this, okay? Oh, wow. The document actually says that this document is very long already. A self-aware document. This document is very long and detailed, so a brief bullet point summary. Oh, this is so good, guys. We get the bullet points right at the top. This is great. Thank you so much, Helen and James. This is good. Good. So we have the summary at the very top. So brief bullet point summary is provided below for those who don't have the hour it takes for a careful read. Well, it only takes an hour? I think it takes longer for me. Well, let's try. Modernity. Wait, I need to have this ready as well. Ooh, no, that's not what I wanted, but it's fine. Okay. Modernity. In terms of the views and values that have brought us out of the feudalism of the medieval period and led us to the relative richness and comfort we enjoy today, and which are rapidly spreading around the world, is under threat from the extremes at both ends of the political spectrum. Okay, this is missing something, okay? This is missing something. It's not just political extremes at both ends. It's also Islam. Okay, so the enemies of Enlightenment values are, right, the wokeism, the Western far right, Islam, Christianity, the CCP, and Hindutva. All of them. So it's not just these two, okay? Modernity is worth fighting for if you enjoy and wish others to enjoy the benefits of a first world existence in relative safety and with high degrees of individual liberty that can express itself in functional societies. Most people support modernity and wish its anti-modern enemies would shut up. Yeah, we wish it, but we don't demand, but we don't force it, right? The defenders of modernity, maybe we wish, I don't know. Do we wish they shut up? I mean, no, I don't. Actually, I don't know if we wish. No, I mean, liberal. No, actually, we want modernity to be challenged because modernity, Enlightenment values improve because they are challenged. Because I don't know if I want them to shut up. I don't know. I'm a defender of modernity, and I do not want its enemies to shut up. I just want them to be defeated. Hey, Ghost Bunny! Hi, Ghost Bunny is here. Yes, and do stay away from Islam. The enemies of modernity now form two disagreeing factions. Again, this is missing a whole bunch. The postmoderns on the left and the pre-moderns on the right. Hey, I like this classification. The postmoderns, the pre-moderns on the right. Hey, I've never seen it categorized like that. That's very interesting. And largely represent two ideological visions for rejecting modernity and the good fruits of the Enlightenment. Yes, the Enlightenment, such as science, reason, Republican democracy. Yes, Republican democracy, rule of law, and the nearest thing can claim to objective moral progress. There's a few stuff missing here. Secularism is missing here. Due process is missing here. Government accountability is missing here. Freedom of expression is missing here. But yeah, those are the main things that comes to my mind, right? Okay, guys, if you're tagging Atheist Republic, please make sure that it's relevant to what we're talking about right now, okay? Because we have a lot to go through. Left-right partnership is the tool by which they left-right partnership is the tool by which they condemn modernity and continually radicalize sympathizers to choose between the two warring factions of anti-modernism, postmodernism, and pre-modernism. Okay, a new centrist position is well intended, represents most people's politics, and cannot hold. Wait. A new centrist position is well intended, represents most people's politics, and cannot hold. I don't know how the sentence ended. It's naturally unstable and reinforces the very thinking that perpetuates our current state of what we term existential polarization. Okay? I don't know what this paragraph means. I'm being honest with you guys. Those who support modernity should do so unabashedly and without reference to relatively minor partisan differences across liberal and conservative split. The fight before us now is bigger than that, and the extremes at both ends are dominating the usual political spectrum to everybody's loss. Again, imagine if you think that just if you focus on Western countries, but if you have a more global perspective like we have here on Atheist Republic, imagine how much modernity will look even more under attack if you add Christianity, Islam, Hindutva, and CCP to all of that, right? Modernity can be fought for, and it's probably what you already want, unless you're on the lunatic fringe of the left or right. Yeah, but the problem is, guys, even the people who are defenders of Enlightenment values, most of them are dogmatic supporters of Enlightenment. I don't know if it's most, but many of them, right? Like a lot of people that just like the buzzwords of these Enlightenment values. If you ask them why they're good ideas, they're just like, well, they are. I like, okay, but why? I like, they are. Don't you like democracy? I like, yeah, okay, but why is democracy superior to other forms of government? Well, because people get a choice. Okay, like, what? And why is that better? Like, they don't know. They just like, oh, I just love democracy. Oh, secularism is better. Why? They don't have answers. So they're, even if they got the right answer, they're dogmatically following Enlightenment values. It's possible for people to dogmatically support Enlightenment values, right? So how could you be a good guardian of Enlightenment values if you don't have any idea why you're guarding it? Modernity is the name for the profound cultural transformation which saw the rise of representative democracy, the age of science, the supersedence of reason over superstition, and the establishment of individual liberties to live according to one's own values. At its core, its values empowering the individual to think, believe, read, write, speak, doubt, question, argue, and refute any ideas at all in pursuit of truth. What is there in the society of today for someone who still believes in this? Oh, what is there? Okay, I didn't see the question mark here, so the tone has to be different. What is there in the society of today for someone who still believes in this? If we insist on continuing to think in purely political terms, there are two primary choices, and they are both bad. We find ourselves offered a left-hand path upon which progressive crusaders build themselves as the righteous defenders of social justice and moral progress, and thus the true future of modernity. I don't know if that's a fair description of all progressives. I mean, it doesn't say all, but it doesn't seem like it's suggesting that it's all wokey or something. Beside it, forking away, lies a right-hand path upon which conservative what the hell is this? I don't know this word. Stalwart means loyal, reliable, and hardworking supporter. Stalwart. Conservative stalwarts position themselves as the last desperate defenders of the heart of the object of modernity, the so-called values of Western civilization. Eesh, I hate that term. Yes, again, right? So conservatives, a conservative got to conserve. Conservative got to conserve. Like conservatives, like we're moving forward so fast. We have the reason why we're great because we were better back then. So we have to conserve. We have to keep thinking the same Western values. Yes, and by the way, these are not values of Western civilization. We already discussed this, why this is such a bad phrase for describing these. Okay, call them Enlightenment values, not Western values. The so-called values of Western civilization, defending it from the potential failures of progressive social and economic experimentation. Yes, this is conservative saying to progressives, this is bid'ah. This is bid'ah. This is okay. Who is this? Guys, the ex-Muslims in the live chat, you guys get this, right? This is basically conservatives accusing others of bid'ah, right? Okay, yes, too much experimentation, too much innovation. Hold on, somebody tagged me. Edris tagged me. You keep pointing out to them being superior, but what about the World War I and World War II? Are Enlightenment values only profitable with nukes? What does that got to do with Enlightenment values? The World War I and World War II was the betrayal of Enlightenment values. That's why I keep telling people not to call them Western values, because Western values include Yahtzee, okay, not the other, because you guys, I can't say the word and it also includes communism. Communism came out of Germany. So what does that got to any of that got to do with Enlightenment values? They are betrayal of Enlightenment values. Just because those things happen in the West, that doesn't mean. This is why a lot of Indians tell me, like, Armin, you are a defender of Enlightenment value, but when the British came to India, they did this and this and that. I'm like, okay, those are betrayals of Enlightenment values. Just because the British did it, that doesn't mean they're Enlightenment values. I don't know what you're talking. Erkin is saying you have moved so fast out of Overton's window. I don't know what you're talking. What this means. They were saying, "LOL, this is what I thought instantly when I saw the title of the video." Bida. Okay, okay. All right, hold on. Defending it from the potential failures of progressive social and economic experimentation. Yeah, no, this is when I thought Beda Islamic. By the way, for people who don't know, Beda is like Islamic for Arabic for innovation, and Islam is frowned upon to innovate and change the values of Islam. So this is kind of because Islam is by its in its core a conservative, very conservative ideology, and conservative as a whole don't like innovation, experimentation, change. That's hence the name conservatism. Upon which of these two, yeah, conservatives got to conserve. Conservatives got to conserve. Oh, Bish is saying, nice point about the distinction between Western values in general versus specifically Enlightenment values. Yes, and Enlightenment values were defended before the great Enlightenment thinkers of Western Europe in the 1800s, well, 17 and 1800s. In other places, they were just the most popular ones, but these are ideas that other places were celebrated and popularized and discussed in other places as well. So they don't belong to the West. They were popularized in the West, and they work everywhere they go. So Western values include other crappy values as well, and these Enlightenment values work everywhere they use, regardless of whether they're Western country or not. Right? Just compare North Korea with South Korea. Compare Hong Kong with China. Compare. Well, that's now debatable. Going the like compare like India with Pakistan. Even just slides. Never mind. That's a can of worm that I'm not going to open right now. I know India is betraying some of its Enlightenment values right now, but we can see the difference. I know what overturned window is, but I don't know. God damn it, Erkin, I know what an overturned window is. I don't know why you're just saying I stepped out of it. That doesn't make any sense. It is saying, are you sure? Isn't nationalism linked to the empowerment of the guys? Tied to is the difference of being the same thing. Okay, for example, you could say that Nazi Germany's ideology was tied to, linked to Darwinism. It was evolutionary biology. Whatever the Nazis in Germany believed in, it was linked to evolutionary biology. Does that make evolutionary biology a bad thing? No. Yep, you are right as usual, dear. Yes, of course, of course. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. Values of Western civilization, defending it from the potential failures of progressive social and economic experimentation. Okay, I already read that like 5 times now. Upon which of these two paths can the hopeful believer in modernity hope to find the cornerstone of the modern project, which is an allegiance to seeking objective truth and erecting sufficiently strong institutions to secure the fruits of modernity? Neither. The progressive left has aligned itself not with modernity but with postmodernism. Now, this is an exaggeration. This article is exaggerating. The progressive left is responsible for most of many of the values from in modernity, right? The progressive left is responsible for gay rights, women rights, minority rights, defending the science, like you name it, the progressive left has been defending it. I mean, what does the right has been like from the Enlightenment values? The only things that the right has been defending is like, I mean, even now less than before, but at least pretends to defend is free markets and maybe free speech. But even then, they actually pretend that they're doing that and they're not. So, yeah, the progressive left has been very good relatively. This whole postmodernism, again, the wokeism, we here attack wokeism at Atheist Republic. But this But anyway, wokeism is like I understand that using postmodernism and wokeism interchangeably is not the right thing to do. Wokeism is something that took a lot of ideas from postmodernism and made a weapon out of it selectively. So I know they're not the same thing. But again, this is in reference to postmodern ideas being, if you say postmodern ideas being used in progressive left, then you're referring to critical race theory and wokeism, right? So if that's what you're talking about, no, they haven't taken over the progressive left. They're a very loud minority, okay? But they haven't taken over. Let me see. Yes, individual action. Actually, you're right. Also, because when Idris was mentioning nationalism, that is pretty much in like could be seen as in contradiction with individualism, which is what we value under Enlightenment values. So Idris, that's another counter to what you were saying. Exactly. Hossein also is saying nationalism is the opposite of Enlightenment values. Well, it depends, guys. Like nationalism depends on what you mean by nationalism. So Hossein and Afshin, you guys are right, but the the nation state is objectively one of the best methods of running any geographical, like when it comes to, if by nationalism you mean considering a nation and its people superior to others just because they happen to be at this geographic area, then that's moronic. But if by nationalism you mean that you're defending the structure of a nation state, and you understand that you need to have, for the sake of management, you need to have, I don't know, like it makes sense to have a nation state. Like you're not for just abandoning borders and not having people select a government that represents this people at this area. Like if you're, I think that's called like civic nationalism. If I'm like, if that's what you mean, I mean that's the idea of of having a nation state is part of modernity. Like that structure, that idea, is also a modern idea. So in that sense, you could say maybe nationalism is not part of Enlightenment values, but the nation states and that political model is part of modernity, right? Yes, yeah, Katie nails it. Yes, Katie, you nailed it. I don't. Yeah, so you guys are all right. The reason why I was hesitant to call that nationalism was because I thought, like, does that mean? Yeah, Katie is saying I don't think the idea of having a nation state is called nationalism. Though. Yep, Katie, you're right. You're right. Thank you so much. That's very, um, very, yeah. All right, but yeah. So I think this is a major exaggeration, though. Why you guys? I don't understand what you guys say. Okay. All right. What, did we read this? The progressive left has aligned itself not with modernity but with postmodernism. I mean, imagine thinking that. Imagine like looking at the past 100 years and all the main movements that like promoted individualism and science and everything came out of the left, right? And you're just looking at like you ignoring the past 100 years, and now you know you look at the past, I don't know what, 5 or 10 years, and things have gone a little bit crazy, and you're saying, "Oh yeah, progressive left has aligned itself with has not aligned itself with modernity." Like really, like the greatest civil rights movement of the past 100 years has come out of the progressive left. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is such an unfair representation of history, which rejects objective truth and a fantasy dreamed by naive and or arrogantly bigoted Enlightenment thinkers who underestimated the collateral consequences of modernity's progress. Wait, what is this? What is it saying? Which rejects objective truth as fantasy dreamed up by naive. Oh, I think this is like, guys, so this is not what James Lindsay is saying in this article. This is what he's saying the progressive left thinks of Enlightenment thinkers. which rejects belief truth as fantasy dreamed up. Yeah. So apparently the progressive left think that they think objective truth. They deny objective truth. Yeah, it's so unfair. This is so unfair, guys. This is why you need to be, you need to be careful with what you read at all times. Just because you see like a smart guy writing an article like this, you can't just accept everything, right? Like you are the progressive left as a whole is being accused of rejecting objective truth, like as an objective truth not being a thing. The part, like, I mean, we have science deniers on both sides, but come on, who are the people that are denying global warming and vaccine and science and evolution and promote creationism? I mean, is that the progressive left? That's the right. They reject objective truth. I mean, you have most of the religious people are on the right. Yes, the wokey people also deny objective truth, but come on, if it comes to which side rejects objective truth more, I would say it's the right. Ronald is saying to call it the progressive left is begging the question already. Idris is saying, thanks for the feedback. What I meant to say was Enlightenment values, if enables nationalism and the world wars, even though opposite to it, may be considered harmful. Just exploring, though. Yes, that's a very good thing to explore, but you could technically say that about, again, Yahtzee ideology took its, I want to call it, I want to say theories, but it's too charitable to call them theories, but took their BS ideas, they took them from evolution, right? So we don't want to, just because somebody takes a good idea and twists it in their own dark and harmful way, that doesn't mean that we should deny how good those original ideas were, right? Yeah, imagine if we say like, "Ooh, look at what happened in Germany in World War II. Let's stop teaching evolution." Okay, the regressive right. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's be charitable to this article. Maybe this charitable is less biased than we think it is. The regressive right champions pre-modernism instead, which is little more than a grand delusion that the intricate complexities of modern society can function without the elaborate infrastructure required to run a modern society in the first place. Wait, what? The regressive right champions pre-modernism, which is little more than a grand delusion that the intricate complexities of modern society can function without the elaborate infrastructure required to run. Wait, do they? How? No. Both are outright rejections of the Enlightenment's commitment to truth. I don't understand. The regressive right champions pre-modernism, which is little more than a grand delusion that the intricate complexities of modern society can function without the elaborate infrastructure required to run a Who says that? No, they don't say that. Where are these right-wing people that are saying like, oh, we don't need intricate complexities of modern society? This is what? This is what happens when you keep focusing on how bad the left is and you don't actually spend the time to learn how bad the right is. Where are the right-wing people that are like, yes, I think that modern society can function without intricate complexities of modern society? What? Who says this? First of all, this whole sentence is way too long. This sentence should be cut into pieces. Like, look at this. It's like half a paragraph. Maybe when you're trying to say something that means nothing, it's better to make it in one large sentence so that people can think like this whole sentence doesn't say anything. Guys, the actual problem with the regressive right is that they also deny objective truth, and they're religious morons that do anti-scientism, that like everything you said about the progressive left, that's what this, yeah. And they also think like they deny that the values that made the Western countries better, they deny that it came from Enlightenment thinkers because they consider them a bunch of atheist heathens. They're like, it's Judeo-Christian. It's because of Judeo-Christian values. So they also deny. Okay, so I will rewrite this paragraph. I would say, like, whatever you said about the progressive left, I would say the same thing about the regressive right. Okay, the regressive right has aligned itself not. Okay, I would be more charitable and say not all, but a loud, influential portion of the regressive right has aligned itself not with modernity, but with pre-modernism, which rejects objective truth, exactly like that, as a fantasy dreamed up by naive and arrogantly, not bigoted, arrogantly atheistic, I would say, enlightenment, no, well, not like non-religious, not all atheistic, but they would say atheistic. Well, let's be charitable. Non-religious enlightenment thinkers who underestimated the influence of God and Jesus and judo and the Bible and Judeo-Christian values of modernity's progress. There you go. I fixed your paragraph for you. Let me see what you guys are saying. Afshin is saying maybe they mean hardcore libertarians. Hardcore libertarians believe in intricate complexities of modern societies. Who doesn't? Where are these people who are like, yes, I don't believe in the intricate complexities of modern societies. Yes, we don't need that. Who says this? Is this like a thing? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I just don't understand what he's trying to say. Jose is saying, I think this is some vague reference to defund the police movements. No, this is about the right. I think it's just criticism on the right is more vague because he doesn't understand how destructive the right is. Ronald saying, a comedian once said, we evolved from a single cell-based organism to a thinking, space-exploring species when our political stances evolved to be either left or right. Okay. Let's continue. If you value modernity, much of political and cultural life of late therefore feels like standing at this dismal crossroads, not of truth, but of what Stephen Colbert famously called truthiness, that which feels true though it isn't, or put more squarely, an intuition of moral or ideological truth which has little to do with any objective reality. Hold on, what is this? Oh, made directly. Okay. Okay, guys, this is also a BS paragraph over here. Almost every generation felt like they're at a dismal crossroads, and they're like, things are falling apart. The truth doesn't matter. Everybody's going the wrong way. Which generation in history did not think that? Huh? Which generation? I mean, it's so amazing that people think that right now, this is what people on the center, left, and right think. Like, the society's falling apart. And like, guys, we had World War One, World War Two. We had the Mongols taking over half the goddamn known world. We had, we had the Arabs. We had the taking over. We had the Rome. Like, there's so many things in history. Like, You want recent history? We had the Great Depression. We had the Great Goddamn Depression, and the world recovered from that. Do you think we're even close to that level of anxiety and misery? World War II. I mean, come on. If anybody, oh, God damn it, guys, we are not like this whole idea of like, so people don't understand what the truth is, and nobody, like, people are we're just using their feelings based on what. No, objective reality doesn't matter. Do you really think that this is a modern problem? Like, this is now something new? You know how less of a problem this is compared to before? Do you know people's understanding of what's real? Like 200 years ago, how much more out of touch with reality it was compared to now? I mean, it's bad now, but do you know how much worse it was? It was so much worse. So it's amazing because this article is trying to warn us about not recognizing the values of modernity, but it seemed like sometimes it does it when they try to make it seem like the sky is falling and everything is like, they're doing the same thing. They're underestimating the influence of modernity and how good it has been. Because as bad as things are, as how, you go and look at Facebook and you see like people be crazy. People be like, oh yeah, Trump didn't lose. He's gonna win. Like, what the hell? You were like, wow, god damn it, people are morons. But then you think like this is a new thing. This is a new thing because our memory of history is like so like people. God damn it, man. Okay, hold on. Let me just do this real quickly. Take the leftward road and you'll find the objectionable notion that truth is situated in identity, which leads to the farcical belief that truth is relative to whatever one's cultural background has traditionally held to be, unless that culture is considered to have unfairly dominated in the past, in which case anything it holds to be true must be refuted on principle. Really now? Is this what you get when you go leftward? Is this what you get when you go leftward? All the time? Didn't we do a live stream just earlier to show what big of a back? Yeah, we did it. We just like less than 12 hours ago, we did a live stream on the major like Jake Paul was accused of being a racist just because he won in a boxing match against a black person, and everybody was like most people. Okay, so people were either like calling out this accusation of racism moronic on both left and right, and even the people who were defending it were not saying that it was accurate to call him racist. They were saying, well, of course it's not accurate to call him racist. It's a joke. It was a joke. Like, even the defense of it was not like, this is not as big of a problem as people make it seem to be. Like, but you say take the leftward road. Like, you're not even like adjusting it to say like many people on the left or some people, like there's a movement, there's a big problem. Like, no, if you take leftward, this is what you get. Read it. Take the leftward road and you'll find the objectionable notion that truth is situated in identity. No, there's a lot of pushback against identity politics on the left. The pushback is there. This is what, by the way, this is what the right-wing people don't do that. They show you the ridiculous, and okay, a lot of people on the right wing, they show you the ridiculous, things that is coming out of the left, but they don't show you the pushback from the left itself. And a lot of people on the left show you a lot of ridiculous crap that comes from the right, but they also don't show you the pushback that they get from the right itself. So don't buy into this. This is such an absolute statement. This is too generalization. This is very unfair. This is very unfair towards the left. This is why the author of this article goes ahead and votes for Trump. This is what you get, that you think you're defending modern. Like, look at this, guys. The champions of modernity, which is like this author of this article. This is what we get right now. This is why we are at such desperate times when it comes to building an army. Okay, we're not at desperate times as a whole. When it comes desperate times when it comes to not having champions of modernity. Okay, just in this specific thing. Okay, because even the people that we have, like somebody like James Lindsay, was supposed to be like he's studying these things and knows these things. As a defender of modernity, he goes for Trump, the dude that wants to ban flag burning, that is responsible for one of the greatest humanitarian crises of our time, that wants to roughen up journalists because of their take on that calls everything he doesn't like fake news, that denies, like, look at this, the guy that thinks global warming is a hoax, and then he says, like, oh yeah, the progressive left rejects objective truth, and then the author of this article goes and votes for Trump, who calls global warming a hoax by China. See what we're dealing with here? You see what we're dealing here? Oh, look, and this is what we get from the MAGA support. Every time they these people, they have nothing. That's why every time you say something against their god, Trump, they're like, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. I didn't like what you said about my God approach. Trump derangement syndrome, Trump derangement. Every time you criticize their daddy Trump, no, dog, this is their blasphemy. And the only thing they have is TDS. You don't like Trump, you must have TDS. That's their only pushback. Hossein is saying, it's okay, Armin, we can take Kabbalah with a small army. No, we can't, Hossein. Didn't you learn already from the first time you tried this? You didn't learn, hey? We are waiting for AP sword verse for our army. What is AP sword? Do you mean apostate prophet? Yeah, this is a mega syndrome. Or it's a TDS syndrome. It's a TDS syndrome. It's the TDSS. It's the TDSS. Everything you don't like is TDS. It's the TDSS. It's a Trump derangement. It's the Trump derangement syndrome. That's what it is. TDSS. Where were we? Look, so we had a whole paragraph that if you go leftward, are we going to get a paragraph for what happens if you go rightward? No? Oh yeah, there we go. Let's get to that. If this sounds confusing, you're not to worry. Priestly representatives. Why priestly? Am I reading this wrong? Yeah, no, I'm not. What is? I don't understand the context. Characteristics of befitting a priest. I don't know why the priestly representatives have appointed themselves along this path to divine. Oh yeah, okay. This is exactly what I thought it means. I didn't think. Okay, priestly representatives have appointed themselves along this path to divine, who can say what to whom and under what circumstances. What? You need only to check your privileges in life, fall in line, become an ally, shut up, and listen to those deemed more oppressed than you are. Okay, but there's no enforcement of any of this, okay? You're comparing this to priests and path to divinity and all that, but these priestly representatives used to burn you at the stake if you didn't comply. These people just call you racist. I mean, it's not that fair, right? Again, as bad as things are right now, if you guys, come on, look at the progress we've made, okay? Look at the progress we made. Now, okay, look at how about the wokey left? The wokey left, they're bad. Okay, so you step out of line, you say something and you're not supposed to say. What happens to you? Racist. What was it before? What was it before? You step out of line, you say something you're not supposed to say, you get burned at the stake or you get beheaded, depending on where you are. Okay? I mean, that's an improvement. Worse, like the most extreme situation is like you get accused of racism, you might lose your job. I mean, that's very rare, but that's the most extreme situation, right? Most common is like somebody called you racist on Twitter. You lose your Twitter account, like me. Okay, you get suspended on Twitter. Yeah, that's but it sucks. Okay, it sucks. Okay, we're getting that back, by the way. It sucks, but it doesn't suck as bad. Like, come on. The people on the right who are defending Christianity, they used to do a lot worse. Make atheists great again. What is this? Susanna Trump. I don't know what that means. The shutting. Okay, those are. The shutting up is particularly important. How are they shutting you up? You're speaking. You became, guys, a lot of people who are complaining about being shut up, they actually they managed to get much bigger platforms because it became a lot more visible to other people because they were anti-SJW. Like James Lindsay, you became a lot more famous and popular because like nobody shut you up. These people that you're saying that you want to shut you up made you more noticeable. Like Jordan Peterson, nobody noticed him until he went and said some things about trans issues in Canada, and he was like, he went anti-SJW, and he became. Did people manage to shut him up? No, he became a lot big. Like every single one of them. Who else? What's that guy? What the hell? What's that guy that's the tiny Jewish guy with a squeaky noise sound? What the? How did I not remember this? Man, my memory sucks. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. Come on. Oh. Shobhana Trump means Trump is perfect. Run for public office, Armin. It's cute that you think I have a chance. Guys, come on. Who's the guy I'm thinking? It's so amazing that I don't even remember. What the hell? Yes, Ben Shapiro. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan. Yes, so yes, exactly. Yes. Ben Shapiro was like, how famous were these people? Like, they're like complaining. They became huge because of their anti-SJW position. Like, think about I mean, Ben Shapiro. Look at the influence they have. They got that. All of that. They got that from being anti-SJW. And then they come on like, they're shutting us up. They're shutting us up. Who's shutting you up? Nobody's shutting you up. Like, what enforcement power do these people have? The shutting up is particularly important. It's almost impossible to avoid being problematic if speaking independently. Okay, you get labeled as problematic. How is that shutting you up? You probably won't like being told your existence is obsolete, but according to the rubric about which you will be reminded at every opportunity, there are those less privileged in the world, and they like their oppression even less. Oh no, boo-hoo-hoo, somebody is being mean to you on Twitter and telling you that you're privileged. Oh my God. Where's the guys? Take out your violins. Take out your violins. This guy is like, they're shutting us up. They're telling me I have privilege. They're telling me. You probably won't like being told. Guys, God damn it. Look at this. I'm trying to find something for you guys for us to become better at defending modernity, but we get this instead. This is not measured. This is not a good defense of modernity. Problematic. Yeah, okay, somebody calls you problematic. Go home and cry about it. These people, I mean, technically, okay, you know what? I'm gonna agree with the people who are telling you this, because you have no idea what shutting up means in the rest of the planet, right? You're like, people are calling me mean things on Twitter. They're shutting me up. Maybe you should talk to ex-Muslims in Islamic country and ask them what this what somebody shutting you up actually means. What is this? They're shutting you up, guys. Shutting people up is way more effectively done by right-wing people. Okay, because when the crazy wokey people, when they get to power, okay, they try to label you as racist. They try to get people to cancel you. Maybe they try to even get you to lose your job. Okay, but when far right people, when they're in power, they show up at your home and they put a bullet in your head. If that's how they shut you up, okay? That's we have seen historically how they shut people up. Okay, so this is not So again, I'm not obviously the woke is I'm anti-woke. I am anti-woke, but you need to be put things in context. Let me see what you guys say. Yeah, I saw that too, Jose. Ronald is saying, how is being called a racist not shutting up in these days society, as far as you can be shut up in a free society country? I mean, isn't everybody being called racist left and right these days, and hasn't it lost its effectiveness? I mean, if you haven't been called a racist online, I mean, what are you even doing? Guys, have you guys not been called a racist? Have any of you not been called a racist ever? Because if you haven't, then you better step it up. How does that? I don't understand. How does that shut you up though when somebody calls you? I mean, I have been called racist all the time, all the time. I'm still speaking. What is okay? You're saying, how is being called a racist not shutting up in these days? Because I've been called a racist, and you guys are here. I'm talking, and you guys are listening to me. How have I been shut up? How has anybody made me? I mean, if anything, it boosts your profile. I mean, every time you can screenshot it and you come tell your friends, and people laugh and share it, and you get more engagement. How? And even when they try to guys, I have a Wikipedia page because people try to cancel me. So now my reach got a lot more because of that. So I understand. So you explain to me, how is that canceling anybody? How is that shutting us up? Oh, Gospani. I need to start work. See you later. Bye, Gospani. We'll miss you. Katie saying, I have been called a racist for criticizing brown people's culture, and I am brown. Yes, yeah, I know, Katie. People have told me that it's okay to call me racist because I pass as white, so it's fine to call me a racist. But yeah, I'm open to you guys telling me how somebody being called a racist is shutting them up. I'm open to changing my changing my opinion. Okay, let me see how much further we could go. Okay, let's read up till here, and then maybe we could read the rest later. This is good. I like this. We have a great opportunity for us to, if we read articles like this and talk about it together here, we don't have to finish the entire article in one go. We could do it in pieces, and it gives us opportunities for us to criticize it, agree with it, right? You guys like this, right? I like it. I don't know. Hussein is saying, I see often that people fail to understand that freedom of speech is not freedom from consequences outside of the law. Yes, Hussein. Yes, Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein, I agree with that. It's just Ronald saying it's just that you being labeled really quickly as racist these days. It's the labeling that is the issue. We can't be criticizing a lot of subjects. Ronald, I'm not defending it. Of course, I think it's moronic. Of course, I think it's dumb to just call people racist. I know it's being used effective, like very loosely on so many people. Like we complain about it here. Well, like we're not dismissing that this is a moronic thing that constantly happens. We're not dismissing that, but we don't want to also exaggerate how the impact of it, right? So you can see, like, this is what many people from different sides do, right? One side, if you look at like the many people on the left, they deny that this is even a thing that is that's a problem. We don't deny it here. We know that this is a thing, and we do agree that this is a problem. But then, look at a lot of people from the right. They think like you basically like, oh, they call us a racist, and they come and cry about it, like, oh, I'm not racist, like they call me like that. Is like they act like they act like they're, oh, somebody can, like, look at, for example, a lot of people are right-wing people. For example, if you look at they keep calling progressives snowflakes, but every time somebody calls them, like, accuses them of racism or something like that, they just break apart. They come and complain about it and cry about it. Like, I mean, this is the internet. Do you really expect, like, what the hell do you expect? Like, do you know if I put a post out there, if I don't see some moronic attacks on me, like, I would be like, what the hell is happening to the world? Like, I would be surprised if I don't get comments like that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Okay. Show me where the progressives touched you. Okay. Just show me on the stall where they called you a racist. Okay. Do you want me to kiss? Oh no, that's problematic as well. I was gonna offer to kiss you where the progressives hurt you, but then I might get me too'd. The white passing thing is Steelman, in my opinion, because race is phenotype after all, isn't it? I mean, you act like it matters to them. They don't. This is too much biology. When you're talking about the Wokistanis, these things don't matter. Ronald saying, okay, do you agree that the people on the far left are less able to engage the discussions as the people on the far right? Yeah, I mean, it's part of their philosophy not to have discussions. Okay, but let's see how this article talks about people on the right. Veer rightward instead, and you'll be similarly disappointed. Their truth isn't much different, although they wouldn't call it situated, but it is. It is the kind of capital T truth that's both obvious to everyone and too simplistic to be true, and it's situated in the lived experience of traditionally recognized everyman. Hmm. Okay. So they want a tradition. So they're going back to traditionally recognized everyman. Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. Yes, this right hand truth often arrives as some amalgamation of divination. Yeah, you're actually acknowledging the destruct. Is that what it's? My yes, some acknowledgement of the insanity from the right. Okay, of divination upon the everyday experience of their rubes and the locally agreed upon God. Oh yeah, there we go. Upon exegesis of God's. What is this word? Who writes like this these days? Parochial? Parochial. Oh yeah, parochial. What does that mean? In general, parochial refers to a narrow and limited point of view. Okay, parochial limited. God's parochially preferred ancient manuscripts. Okay, why people write like this? This is what's saying it. Okay, so just like the left. So here, let me actually tell you this in a more simplistic way. Okay, so just like the left-leaning people, the wokey people, have their own unjustified sources of truth, what they recognize as truth. The right-leaning people have used tradition as a way to decide what's true. Like, this is traditionally we have done this, so this lived experience of the the person that we consider to be representing this country. Like, I don't know, like if you're in a Western country, white male, but if this is also true for conservatives in other countries. Like, you could be like in China, and you could be what are those? What is the ethnic group in China that's superior? Right? I don't know. Like in India, it could be Hindus, right? So the traditionally recognized, the lived experience of the traditionally recognized every man. So yeah, so that tradition is they're trying to keep. That is what reflects the truth and reality and what needs to be preserved, or they get it from religion, right? Which is the right-hand truth of often arrives as some amalgamations of divination upon the everyday experience of rubes and the locally agreed upon exegesis of God's parochially preferred ancient manuscripts. Why do you write like this? Who writes like this? Look at this giant sentence. This is just basically saying that they get their truth from ancient religious nonsense. That's what this means. Like, why would you write it like this? Are you trying to, like, how could I make something so simple and write it in a way that makes it sound a lot smarter and much more difficult for somebody to understand? This is all that this is saying. It's saying they're getting what they understand to be true is in moronic ancient scripture of people that lived thousands of years ago and had no understanding about how anything works, not how science works, how the human mind works, how anything works. That's where they get their truth from. Isn't that easier to say than this guy? Yeah, but if you say it the way I say it, then people are not going to think you're intelligent. Okay, you have to use words like amalgamation and divination, and you have to use, like, what other words here? Exegesis of God's parochially preferred ancient manuscripts. Like, what? No. Oh yeah, Han Chinese, exactly, is the largest ethnic group in the world. Yes, exactly, Han Chinese. Han, yes, you guys get it. Han Chinese. Yes, you guys. Yes, wow. Look at the responses. Yes, it's bigger than, yeah. Clove is saying he googled least used words. Guys, people shouldn't be celebrated for using words like this. Okay, this is done on purpose. People should be like, we know what you're doing. This is not a confusing thing to tell people. This is like this is a very simple idea that you're trying to communicate, and you have to make it seem more intelligent by making it more complicated and harder to read. It's it's a way to celebrate yourself as an intellectual rather than trying to at the expense of reaching out more people. A more capital S sophisticated truth can also be found along the right-hand path placed there by nature herself in the form of philosophically reasoned out natural law, despite the demonstrated meaninglessness of this term and its distinctness from anything established by the natural sciences. Yeah, I agree with this. I agree with this. This whole okay. Truth on the right is yeah, and also by the way, some of the Enlightenment thinkers also use this as an excuse. Nature herself, like, which is complete nonsense. So see, we criticize even the Enlightenment thinkers, and this has nothing to do with actual natural sciences. Truth on the right is thus exactly the plainly true common sense everybody knows, except the elites and experts who are deemed too educated and too out of touch with real life to see what's plainly the case. Yes, and a lot of the Enlightenment thinkers and scientists and philosophers are seen like that as well. Okay, and they're like, you don't need those experts. There's anti-intellectualism. The right has its own anti-intellectualism. So the words so-called experts are very much used by a lot of right-wing YouTubers that I follow, especially now when it comes to COVID. Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing: like, who are being the science deniers right now when it comes to COVID? It's mostly from the right wing, and this whole this is exactly what's happening, right? They keep if you watch the right wing YouTube channels as much as I do, how many times you keep hearing them saying the so-called experts when they're talking about the scientists that are telling you what to do with COVID. Very irrelevant. So yeah. DTR saying they think using difficult words make you seem intelligent. I mean, they're right though. They seem intelligent when they do that. I mean, they are intelligent, but it shouldn't be like that. It is like that though. How can you know what's plainly true along the right word path? Then it is whatever seems immediately obvious, which obviously works good enough to be getting on with, so long as most complexities of systems and of human interactions are dropped. Oh, so I get it now what he was saying above. I didn't understand earlier what he meant. Yeah, I kind of get it now. I gotta get it. Or it is that which accords with the views of the provincially correct religious or political deities, or their self-appointed emissaries. If you connected that common sense is in its perfected capitalized letters for form, it's actually terribly common. Form isn't actually terribly common. That self-styled holy rollers and fearmongers might not speak for you, and that simple God damn it, these sentences are too long. Heuristics often miss the point. The right-hand road is going to be a frustrating and painful choice. I mean, I agree with everything that was said here, but look at how long. Guy, dude, cut your sentences in half. I mean, my English teachers always told me, like, remove some grades from me every time whenever I submitted an essay. If I had a sentence that went like this long, there would be a red mark here, and it would be like, the teacher would be like, here's where you could have cut in your sentence, and here's how you could have made it into two shorter sentences, and I would lose a mark. I would lose a mark if my sentences were this long. Because everybody knows longer sentences are harder to read. You go halfway through and you're like, wait a minute, where were we? And then you have to go back again, like, okay, wait, where were, like, what's the point that is trying to be made here? And you have to read it like 4 or 5, and it would be so much easier if you cut it in half. Then it would be much more digestible for your goddamn readers. It's amazing. English is not my first language, and I'm teaching you how to write English to this guy that is supposed to be an intellectual. God damn it, man. You'd be exactly right in believing that modernity requires a bit more than plain sense and natural law. Yes. And by the way, I'm agreeing with everything here. To keep itself. And again, this whole natural law thing is not just from a right-wing thing. This is even the Enlightenment thinkers that we here celebrate. They were doing the same crap. That's how they were defined. You're saying God's natural law. or given to God, gifted by God, or natural law. These are stuff that the Enlightenment thinkers use as an excuse for why we should value Enlightenment values as well. I don't know if this is necessarily a right-wing thing, and we called them out, right? I mean, to be fair to them, they didn't have the data that we have now to be able to show that you don't need BS terms like this to defend those values, right? To keep itself functioning and moving forward. Not only that, but down this way, if you're concerned that what passes for capital T truth often tends to rationalize and exacerbate. Yeah, I can't speak. Tongue twister for me. Help me out here. Exacerbate. Exacerbate. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. Exacerbate structural inequalities in society. Your job is to deal with what's true, suck it up, and keep your questions and interfering to yourself. Yeah, this is the feeling that I get when I watch the Tatum report, or what's that other guy? A lot of, yeah, or even Paul Joseph Watson, or what's that other girl's name? God damn it, I'm bad with names. Laura something. All the right wing content creators that I follow, I get this feeling from them. Well, not all of them, most of them. But anyways, we're gonna end this here for now. Let me know if you guys want me to continue down this article. I think I'm learning a lot. I think I'm learning a lot from you guys, pushing like your interactions with me while I read this article is makes reading these with you a lot more helpful than me just reading it by myself. Like, you guys are like have a lot more. You're adding your own pushbacks and nuances and challenges, and you disagree with me, and I have to respond to you. I don't know. I think it's fun. I like doing this with you guys. When I asked my English teacher about why authors do this in books and it's fine, but I do it in essays and it's not fine, they said that I can do it once I become a famous author. That's a good. Oh, Katie, that's really good. That's really. Oh yeah, Laura Chen. Wait, is that her? On my finger, I'm bad with names. Laura, is that who I think it is? Oof, yes. Laura Chen. I said oof. You know why I said oof. All right. Almost all the English words Armin struggles on are of French origin. Really? So I shouldn't be hating on English so much. I should be hating on French. Interesting. Because I have no respect for English as a language. I'm kidding. Well, actually, no, I'm not kidding. Yeah. All right. We've been over an hour, but you guys tell me, should I continue down this path? I think we're getting into more nuances, and I mean, it's easy when we highlight Hindu videos or Islamic videos or Christian videos. It's just so basic and so childish that all we could do is just point and laugh together, right? And I just feel like these kind of are doing this is less popular, but it's just we're getting into work, we're considering more nuanced and interesting positions when we do that. What do you guys think? Let me know once the live stream is over in the comment section. Anyways, guys, if you think this kind of live stream, which is not very popular, deserves a reward, make sure you leave a like so that it gets more engaging, because if it doesn't get the engagement, because we need to grow this channel, and this is not going to grow the channel, right? But if you guys think we should do more of this kinds of videos, then do something. Do you see all the buttons down there? You see the like one and the share. There's a share. There's the bell button, the subscribe. Do all tell Google yes. That make this grow, because this is the kind of stuff that we want. Okay. And if you don't want and this doesn't get much engagement, we'll go back to other stuff that you guys like. But hey, I'm just trying new things to see what you guys like. Um, Paris saying, "Oh no, Armin is gonna hate on French like the rest of Muslim world." No, well, actually, I might. Macron, did you guys see what Macron did with Egypt when Sisi visited and he refused to call out their human rights violations? Macron, that was like, yes, because they're like, yeah, we defend freedom of speech, and then Macron is putting journalists and everybody in prison, and now he's like, no, sorry, CC is putting everybody journalists in prison, and now he's right there, and people are saying, hey, Macron, are you going to call it out? And apparently not. So we have to call out Macron. Tell me if you want me to do a live stream, call out Macron, because that's absolute hypocrisy right there. Woo, hello is fake. Yes, Macron will cancel you. And also, what's up with this in France now? That apparently you can't record the police. Is that a thing now? You can't record the police. What happened to being the champions of freedom of expression and all? Idris, you're French. Idris saying that's because French was the language of nobility in England, so they are fancy words. Yes, exactly. The video didn't die. People are watching. Yes, I agree with Pyro. Idris, explain to us what's happening in France. A lot of disappointment, both with CC and also this not being able to record police. That would be a nice stream. Yes, because we need to be promised that we're gonna call out the people. Oh, okay, DTR is saying they wanted to do that, but it was pulled down. Yeah, but even the fact that they were considering it, like, yeah, we defend freedom of expression, and they're like, oh yeah, you go to jail if you record the cops. What the hell? What the hell is happening? Anyways, yes, no problem with 5. Okay, all right, guys. I'm gonna leave. You guys are just too fun to hang out with. You guys, do you guys like the new overlays? Look at the new overlays. I designed it myself. Do you guys like it? Subscribe here, and then the Atheist Republic here. It's pretty, right? It's the new ones. Anyways, all right. Make sure you subscribe. Just do it. Okay? It's Dharma. It's Hekma. Okay, I give you kisses. Okay. Guys, if I give you kisses if you subscribe, will you me to me? Will you me to me? Consent before. I only kisses to all the people who consent. Not if you don't consent, this is not for you. Thank you for subscribing. I love you.